Okay, so today's gonna be a very busy day, extremely busy day. I am going down to Clearfield to see a friend of mine by name of Ryan. I knew him whenever I knew Jen, wrong Jen. Um, and he happens to know Sarah. Sarah was able to get me a pair of back brakes for my car, and yeah, gonna put that on between, well, it's going to be about half an hour to get down there. So I guess between 10 and 12, I'm gonna try to redo the entire back brake system. Yeah. And then after that, I have um, like a, not a meeting. I'm going down to Skills to meet some of the coworkers for some kind of mingling event where I get to meet some of the coworkers. I get to meet some of the people who actually go to Skills. I think it'd be very beneficial for me to go because I get to see what it's like to, what people are like down there, and it'll definitely help me for the whole CPS thing I want to do. After that, I get to talk to my son at 4 because the mingling thing at Skills ends at 3. So at 4, I call Xavier because he has trick-or-treating between 5 and 8. So I don't want to get in the middle of that, of him having fun. I'm not going to be like, hey, yeah, stop your fun and talk to me. No, he's going to have fun. So hopefully his mom will take pictures and all that other stuff. And then trick-or-treating. The whole trick-or-treating thing tonight here. So, yeah, busy day today. And then tomorrow, I have to go down to Penfield to see Annette about stage 2 of the Legacy Project. And then after that, I have to meet with Heather from Sam's. Yeah. And then later on that night, I need to go down to Board Up for Magnum. That's also going to be fun. Then the next day, Saturday morning, I'm going to get the car inspected. And then I think I have another Board Up that day. And Chuck wanted to know if I could take him down to Reading for his work, since Chuck doesn't drive. And I don't think I can, so I'm hoping Bobby can. And all next week, jeez. And with the Reading thing's like a week long, I'm like, I don't think I can do it because I have to check in the first 10 days of the month. I could try to do it tomorrow, but I don't know if I'll have enough time. Then next week, all meetings concerning the stage 2, concerning that Xavier's mom didn't want to start anything until November 1st. So, yeah, there's that. And, hey, get this, I think I'm sick. Yesterday was a pretty low in contrast to the high that I was feeling the day previously. Luckily, I got to talk to my friend, Kitty. Oh, God. Thank you, Kitty, so much. I don't know if you watched these at all, but, like, if it wasn't for you yesterday, I think I probably would have just been like, screw everything. But thank you for being a friend. I really do appreciate that. I had to talk quietly because I went to bed early, trying to rest, but, like, I was still racing thoughts, and I didn't want anybody else to be like, oh, he just decided not to do stuff, and, like, I guess it's kind of like whatever right now. But, like, I honestly gotta go. I just want to give everybody, like, an update on what I'm doing, kind of like for the next couple of days. So, and I'm late. So, see you guys later, alright? It's 12:30. I had to cancel the Halloween party. Well, my attendance there anyway, because we're still working on the car. And I've learned nothing, because the guy Ryan is not a teacher. He's not somebody who's willing to communicate. He's not a jackass. He just is in his own head, kind of like me. But I see what he's doing, and we just needed more parts. It was a little bit worse than what we thought. The inside's good. The shoes, I guess what they call it. I thought they were just drums, but I think that's the unit term. But yeah, shoes are fine. Everything else is just kind of like the shit. So we're down at AutoZone right now. We're getting brake lines because that was just bad. We need to get new brake line. Not the whole thing, just whatever, enough to be able to reconnect what we did a couple weeks ago to what is rusted in the back. So yeah, just tired. Really, and it's raining, and my sickness is getting worse, and just a lot of other stuff in my head. I probably won't make a Project Gene video about this because my head's just not in it. So yeah. It's raining and I am ready to go home. We got both brakes changed. Brakes blood. Yeah, and it's raining. I'm doing my best to keep my seat dry, but I gotta get home, get changed. I got a phone call in about an hour. I should be able to make it there in like half an hour, 45 minutes at the most. I think I'll do for Jen. I love you, girl. Love you more so than most people, but I'll let you guys go. Ah, jeez. Later. I appreciate what Sarah and her friends were trying to do. I came in and I was like, are you sure this could take only 2 hours? Yeah, sure, yeah, 2 hours. 2 hours. From 10 o'clock. 12 o'clock. Still on the same tires. 2 to 3 trips. And I understand. Whoever owned the car before me really didn't take care of it. It was super rusted. A lot of things happened unsuspectedly. Get that. We thought we were done by 3. I was like, yeah, I get to go home. I start driving, I hear this sound. This sound that sounds like, you know, whenever you put a stick inside of a bike and like that. And I'm like, oh, this is not good. I pulled into the closest person who I could actually trust, and that was BB. And God, like I was just on the floor, like I gotta think of something. And I came up with a couple of ideas. There's time to regroup, so I tried to contact a lot of different people, and I let Sarah know that, hey, I'm hearing the sounds, braking's kind of iffy. I'm trying to figure out what to do. She's like, well, bring it back. And there was something in my head. I was like, yeah, bring it back to the person who couldn't fix it. But she swore up and down, just like before the 2 hours, just like before when she said that this guy knew what he was doing. I knew the guy. And even the person who, like, whenever he left, because he had some things to take care of, the other guy, Willie, older guy, he seemed to know what he was doing. He actually seemed to, like, get right to it and, like, knew exactly what he was doing. She, like, swore by him, too. And I come back, and keep in mind, the entire day is raining. So I'm outside, raining. So I canceled my Halloween meeting. I apparently now canceled my, my volunteer trick-or-treating thing. And after I left the first time, like when I thought everything was good, and I ended up at BB's place because it wasn't, I had to stay there because I didn't want to risk being elsewhere and having bad reception and not being able to talk to Xavier, because today's trick or treat, he has visitation between, well, not visitation, he has trick or treat between 5 and 8. And I was like, okay, I can call him at 4. So I called her at 4, and she goes, oh, he's not off the bus yet. And I'm like, okay, that happens. That's cool. I'm patient. And I get on the phone with him, like maybe 10 minutes later, and you can barely hear him. I can barely hear him, but I'm trying to sound as enthusiastic as I can. I'm like, hey, buddy, I'm sorry that I can't talk to you today, but you're trick-or-treating. I want you to have fun and everything else. And it was a decent phone conversation. Then he just hung up. And I kept it together because I'm sure he was just excited about going trick-or-treating. And then we're back. We realized that we had to calibrate the brakes. So in working on that, found out that the brake line was cut. And potentially the emergency brake needs to be replaced. And the sound is still there. And the brakes barely work.
And you know what the guy told me? You know what he told me? He told me, you should probably take it to a mechanic or a garage. And I'm like, this is my fault. This is my fault. All of this is my fault. All of this because I went to new people. I shouldn't have done that. I should have said no. I don't want to do that. Yeah, I should have said I didn't want to do that. I should have said I'd much rather go the long way. Now my car is worse off than it is. I can't even really identify the problems. I can't. And Danny's not going to be able to... Like, what if he doesn't come over this weekend? He's a truck driver sometimes. He gets stuck somewhere. My granddad has other shit to handle, and that requires me to get my vehicle out there. I don't even feel safe driving Gene right now. And she meant well. I'm sure they all went well. This is a crisis. This is a crisis. And anger is a normal reaction. It's a normal human emotion. But anger won't solve the problem. So what can we do to solve the problem? Problem's that my car doesn't work. Tomorrow's payday. I can call Granddad tonight and see if he's able to come up if I pay him some gas money, because he doesn't live like across the street. He doesn't live across town. He actually knows what he's doing. He's worth having to pay him gas money to come down here. I'm not letting Chuck and Sue know because they already think I'm a fuck up. And even if they won't say it, I feel that. I'm getting angry again. So I call Granddad. I have him come down. He takes a look at it. I look up tonight about what could be the problem and what I could do to potentially fix it. Okay. Inspections on Saturday. Tomorrow I have 2 appointments. I have to go down to Penfield for to see the specialist, and then I have to go down to Port Matilda for the broadcast. So I can possibly ask Chuck and Sue, hey, since my car's not actually inspected yet, I don't want to go all the way down to Port Matilda. Can you let me borrow your car for the evening? For my appointment with the specialist, I can have my skill partner take me down to that one. And in between, actually, I can drive up to Nan's. Drop my vehicle up at Nan's garage. Tell Zach and Pooter about the situation. They might be able to come up with a solution. At the same time, tell Granddad I'll meet him at Nan's after my specialist meeting. Then we will all brainstorm for the 3 hours I have available before I have to rush down to back home to get the car, to go down to Port Matilda to do the broadcast. And tonight I will write a letter to my son, apologizing. Letting him know that I'm sorry that I couldn't see him today, and that I'm sorry if I upset him. He might not be able to understand, but at least he will know in the future maybe that I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna fix this.